We're now at Kandy train station to take one of the most scenic train rides in all of Sri Lanka. It's very popular, but we're actually getting out of the train halfway to climb Adamspeak, which is supposed to be a really nice trek. And we're doing it for sunrise, so yeah, it's gonna be an interesting 24 hours ahead of us. If it's already crowded in the middle of the night, I don't know what we're expecting.
They told us, good luck, we are probably not gonna make it.
Hi, I'm Zoe.
And I'm Simon. And since our first trip together over a decade ago, we've taken every opportunity we can get to travel, explore new countries and try new food.
This year we left our jobs and rented out our flat to start a new long-term trip, beginning in Asia, where we'll be diving deep into the multitude of cultures and cuisines. The train, which normally goes from Kandy to Ella, only takes us until Hatton, and from there I think it's still a 1 or 1.5 hour ride with the bus or with the Tuk Tuk, or maybe with the driver, we don't know yet. We will have to find some form of transportation. We managed to find our seats, and they're actually really not bad, even though we only got third class reserved, but I think it's way better than unreserved in any case.
It's only going to be a 2.5 hour trip, and from there a very bumpy and curvy tuk-tuk ride.
We got a tuk-tuk and we're now on our way to our accommodation, from where we will start adamspeak tomorrow. We arrived at our home for half a night. And I mean, it's simple, but it's nice. It also has nice wall art. It says, "I promise you and hold you right where you belong until the day my life is through." I like that. I like that a lot. And it also has a bicycle on the wall and a little park. That reminds me of home.
Slight overreaction here.
No, but it's nice. It's everything we need. We have a bed. We have some quite nice views actually onto the mountain and the tea plantations surrounding us.
So first we should probably explain what Adamspeak is and what our grand plan is for here. This is Adamspeak. Adamspeak, locally known as Sripada, is probably Sri Lanka's most famous mountain, even though it's not the highest mountain here. It's about 2,243 meters high. So why is it such a famous mountain? Well, on top of the mountain, or near the top of the mountain, you can find what many people believe is a footprint. But whose footprint it is, I think, up to interpretation, and it also depends on your religious beliefs. The Buddhists think that it's Buddha's footprint, Hindus believe that it's Shiva's footprint, and Christians believe that it's Adam's footprint. The footprint is in a temple on top of Sripada, and there are many pilgrims that take on the journey and climb Sripada to view it. Now, Sripada isn't a very complicated climb. I think it's mostly taking a lot of steps. I think it's over 5,500 steps. So it is going to be strenuous. But to see the sunrise, we will have to probably start climbing at 2 a.m. because it can take up to 4 hours depending on the crowds. And that means we're not going to get that much sleep.
But we also don't want to go too early, because if we wake up at 2 a.m. to go and then we only need 2 hours to climb to the top, we will have to wait for 2 hours for the sunrise.
Yeah.
So we were kind of negotiating earlier with the owner of our guest house, like when we could go or when we should go.
Because he said we should maybe even go before 2 a.m. And we were like, what about more like 3 a.m. Would that work?
Because we read online that it happens to a lot of people. They climb it way too early because they overestimate the time they need. I mean, I don't think we're the fastest ones to go up this mountain, but we're hopefully also not gonna be super slow. So I guess the hike will take us 2 hours.
Yeah.
But let's see tomorrow.
And as a sort of trial hike, we are now walking through a tea plantation. And there are lots of tea fields here and they look very nice.
Trial hike of about 10 minutes.
I said it's a trial hike, it's a small hike. You know, to get the knees warmed up, they have to stay warm for quite a while, but...
Yeah, totally makes sense. You're right.
I know. Can you make it? Can you make the jump? Really proud of you. These tea fields are just so majestic. And it's very quiet as well, even though there are loads of buses here on the road below.
And I think this kind of landscape is just something else. I haven't seen it anywhere else before. And yeah, it just feels really, really cool walking around here between the fields.
And we are so relaxed right now that I don't really want to think about, you know, our wake-up call at 2 a.m. because I think that's the earliest we've got up on our trip here, or on any trip basically, to climb up a mountain. Usually it's like maybe 4 or 5 a.m.
Because the hikes so far haven't taken that long.
Yeah.
2 a.m. is normally not waking up early, but staying up late.
Exactly.
So it feels a bit weird.
I think we should just get some good dinner now and then try to fall asleep as early as we can. So let's do that. I think our bodies are kind of confused right now. I mean, who gets up at 1:30 to start hiking up to a mountain?
Spraying ourselves with 98% DEET, because there wasn't anything else available.
Better than nothing.
Of course.
It's pretty funny because this feels more like going to a festival than climbing a mountain early in the morning.
But it's super nice because all the shops are open, people are on the streets, and buses are coming.
Yeah, buses are bringing hundreds of people here.
You feel like you're not the only one getting up at 1:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
so that's nice.
And you can grab a bite to eat. Technically, if you're very hungry at 1:30 in the morning, and you can also buy a souvenir. So
I already bought a nice hat. Okay, you probably can't see it,
No.
but it was €1, so I'm very happy with my purchase.
So the start of this hike really is an endless row of shops. Feels a little bit like walking through the duty-free shops at the airport to get to baggage claim. But I think now we're at the end and we can start walking up 5,500 steps. Okay, 30 minutes later, still a lot of shops and people. We also just met some people going down. They started 4 hours ago and they told us, good luck, we are probably not gonna make it because it's gonna get real crowded.
Yeah, normally it's getting crowded for sunrise, so if it's already crowded in the middle of the night,
Then
I don't know what we're expecting.
I think we can be lucky to make it half of the way, maybe 1/3.
We'll see,
We'll
but
see.
it's a nice experience so far anyway.
It's a fun experience, and also, I mean, I think we'll see the sunrise no matter what. Still a few hours though.
Yep. It's a super interesting experience. Like, people are just very eager to get to the top, and I think they will wait for a long time at the top and then are completely exhausted when they get down. There are people sleeping everywhere. It's just crazy.
We haven't made it very far, like not at all. And it is still super full, and it's, I think, gonna get more and more full as well.
And I mean, we've been going for 1 hour now.
I think we're halfway on Google Maps, but when it comes to the climb, we're not halfway. To be fair, we were warned not to do this on a weekend, and it is a Sunday. That's just our itinerary, so. This is the end of Adam's Peak for us. We decided to turn around.
We got stuck.
Yeah,
And it wasn't even like, it was maybe halfway to the top.
as you probably could see, there were a lot of people, and I think we were standing at that spot for 20 minutes and we moved one step forward, and I think it would have gone on like that for, well, forever, until the top basically.
Also, my body just kind of gave up at this point. I think it's also because we were going quite fast. We were like, my pulse was quite high, and then we just stopped. And I was feeling sick. Also, like, the smells weren't the nicest.
Yeah.
Like a lot of urine scents. And all these people like standing at one spot, like not even just because of COVID, but in general it just gave me a little bit of anxiety, because you feel like, yeah, you're really stuck. It doesn't move forward, it doesn't move backwards. And yeah, so we just felt like, okay, we won't wait another 3 hours at this point for sunrise. I mean, it still was a very interesting experience. I'm still kind of happy we did it, but yeah.
I'm also happy that we did it. It is definitely an experience, and I guess the lesson is don't do Adam's Peak on a weekend. And of course, I mean, this isn't really meant to be a hike. The people going here don't really care about the sunrise or sunset. It's about reaching the temple at the top. And for us, it was more about the sunrise, but we can see a sunrise elsewhere as well.
But it was very nice to see all the people who still are trying to go all the way up, and to see their passion and like their commitment to climbing.
There's definitely a lot of commitment. I mean, there were so many families with children and very old people as well, slowly climbing up. And that's also why, of course, sometimes it's very slow going, and there are many people sitting like on the steps or lying on the steps. I think we still enjoyed it. Like, we like these a bit.
Apart from this one little moment.
Yeah. But we like these experiences, and it is super interesting to see. Actually, it's also quite amazing to see so many people, so many local people here in one place.
Yeah, it feels like all of Sri Lanka is here.
Yeah. And
at
I think
2 a.m.
We're
well,
probably
now it's
just
4 a.m.
So we've decided to take matters in our own hands and walk somewhere where we can see a nice sunrise, hopefully.
Yeah, because yesterday when we were in the Tuk Tuk, we passed one spot where we thought, ooh, we might have to go back there and maybe take some photos or something because it looks so nice. So that's where we're going now. And yeah, I mean, we have looked at the direction this place is facing, and it looks like it's facing east, so that would be good.
And the street we're walking down is also the street where all of the buses of the visitors are parking, and it's just an endless row of buses basically. Buses after buses after buses. It's no wonder it's so full up there. Okay, not bad. We just pulled off a very sophisticated bush crossing mission, and now we are at this lake. So the buses are up here, and we somehow climbed through the bush and we arrived here. This is super nice. It's also quite weird because we're just standing on this weird kind of, I don't know what it is. You can't really describe it as a beach, more of a place full of rocks right at the lake. And the sun is slowly rising. It is you know, it is behind some mountains still, but the sky has turned orange and the lake looks super cool. So we didn't reach the top of Adam's Peak, and we also didn't see a sunrise from Adam's Peak, but I would say that this is equal and if not even better, because there's no one here. We're not standing in between hundreds or thousands of people. We've got this all to ourselves, and the view is also incredible.
I strongly agree with everything you just said.